Hello, Gina, and welcome to your baby girl's chart reading. So I'm going to get started with this one the same way I did with baby boys. And we're going to first get into the person or the road to the character they wanted to become in this life. Like, who did they want to develop into over time? And then the elements of their son or their main character that they needed in order to get there. So a splice, if you will, before we get into the actual chart. So we get an understanding of what all the other pieces we're trying to pull together in the first place. So who did Gina's baby girl come here to develop into? Who did she come to become? Right. Ooh, this one's a loner. I feel like this time I need to pull the character card with it at the same time and get a full feel for the character. It's not just going to be these individual traits. It's going to be like a. My mind started saying a mixer. Like instead of me just telling you the ingredients, I'm going to be telling you the whole like pie, the outcome. So, what characteristics did she need to embrace or hold in order to become this person? Let me tell you how. This is hilarious. So I don't know because I haven't dug into the chart yet. It's just up in the background. Did you know you were carrying a small femme fatale in your body? Did you notice she was a little spicy uh, in everyday life? Yeah, because nah, this is a strong. Excuse me, a strong queen, and that was like a hiccup, which aligns with this because this was unexpected. But go off. I love the blend. So, your daughter is like the girl that makes all the other girls get it together, right? There's this group of females called pygmies. They are ones that alter their personality based on what the patriarchy said they needed to be in order to be accepted or to become a wife or something. So their whole life is built around that. Somebody is going to have to wrestle your daughter in order to make her a wife because she's going to be so solid in her character and who she is that she's going to need a good reason to give up even part of her freedom to be with one person. So she wanted to develop into a fully empowered, and I'm not going to say dark feminine because dark feminine is when you lean into the desire to prove something to the masculine, I think, in my opinion, for the dark feminine. Otherwise, you would just be the empowered feminine, which is when you move past just being that light, pick me energy, the love and light one, and just being the dark, uh, super feminist one. No, you are both. You love men as much as you love women. You embrace the positive aspects of both because you have finally embraced the positive aspects of both internally for yourself. So, this is a strong, independent woman here. She will work for herself. Even if she does like little nice things for other people, because this volunteer came up here, uh, it's volunteering with children, is what I'm getting. Like there's going to be something about her wanting to help orphans or just help people who weren't as blessed as her in their life, which is what this saboteur is. Now, in the negative, it could be somebody who dwindles themselves down all the time. But in this case, I am sensing she's somebody who helps empower other people because she's never been watered down with her own power. It's like she had parents who understood exactly who she was and let her be that. Like she requires time to herself a lot too. But it's because her mind is complex. She's thinking about the intricacies of life. If she's not already, because she might be little. Nah, this would have been a child who you can tell is thinking about some stuff. You can tell there's a mastermind being built here. So she wanted to be like a weapon that nobody could tell was a weapon. And why am I saying that? Because of this Don Juan. She's going to be outwardly, and this lover was here too, right? So she's going to be outwardly very attractive. That was important. That was a part of what she wanted for herself. But she doesn't want to be bothered by anybody. It's like that part of her. So that she had a certain amount of respect with what she was doing. This is a part of her job, but it's more of her purpose job. This volunteering and helping with orphans and helping with children. That's her purpose job. Her actual job. This is very interesting because we got Avenger here, right? This means that something happened in her past life, and I'll get to that in the chart reading, right? Something happened in her past life that made her gun for a career in this life. Like, I think she wants to be in front of the camera. She wants to be seen. Now, the job, particularly here, is journalist, chronicler of stories, reporting, interview, inquiry, promotion, right? But the careerist one is somebody who is aspiring for a big career period. Somebody like that has a grand vision for themselves. No matter where she ends up, she wants to be on top. ANTM. So, somebody who relays news and messages to other people that are empowering. This card was right underneath the volunteer card, and it backs up this for me. So, what if she has one job that allows her to share news, share knowledge with people? She's high up in her ranking, right? But then because she is so known in what she does, she takes that opportunity to flip it to help other people, to share her spotlight on something that wasn't necessarily being spotlighted before. So she's rising to a position of power or notoriety in some way, shape, or form, strongly in her feminine, which is probably why, if your child was going to go into Hollywood, I was going to say politics or Hollywood, this would make sense for me because she wanted to be beautiful, but she wanted to be strong. She wanted to be able to stand up for herself. She wanted to be respected. She's not going to settle down with one person easily because her career is number one for her. And then if she does settle down, she'll be making sure it's not the wrong person. It'll only be somebody who helps support her career goals and visions. There's a possibility that having kids might not even be high up on her list of things to do, but she does want to work with them or help them or teach them in some way, shape, or form. So let's get into this chart now, because this is very interesting. She came back with a mission. Like, I need to know what happened last time that made her make this decision that she was going to come in here. And in some ways, this is a very selfless life. By that, I mean, she came here with a mission to do something that was giving her energy away to other people. Because in the other life, it feels like she didn't do anything that she felt mattered. So this life was going to be all about what mattered. Like maybe she did the love thing before. Maybe she did have kids and all that stuff. And this time she wanted to do something that made her feel like she could finally go home. So what is, and I'm just going to pull from the past life deck because I'm being drawn to it now. What happened with baby girl in the past life that made her decide to be career focused in this life? I'm going to go ahead and flip this at the same time so we can get into the chart. She was a part of a war. She was a nun or a monk during a Roman war. So that explains why she felt like she was just sitting along the side and didn't help with anything. And it's really important to her to help in this life. Like she saw everything that happened and she was in the background and she didn't want to be in the background no more. She wants to jump to the forefront. So during a time where women weren't allowed to be in power and do any of that stuff, she decided, next time I come back, I want to be the most powerful woman I can possibly become. Imagine going from a life where it's focused on God and giving yourself up solely to that, to you deciding, I want all my power. And then I want to have so much power that I can share that with other people. That is why your daughter is a Scorpio rising at the 13th degree. The 13th degree is a self degree. It is like the intermediate. Let me hide this. The Aries test, go first degree, 13th degree, 25th degree. This is a mid one. Like it's just her just now getting her power back. The first degree is you getting a sense of self. The second one is like, now I know sort of kind of what I want to do with that power. The next, like, oh, nope, look, that Venus is in Aries at the 25th degree. I love that. She is finding out the value of her empowered self. This also means she's going to be really strong. Like she might be physically strong. She might be athletic or participate in things that make her like athletic. Her beauty might take after her father's because of this. But she came to go through all the things that come with that sort of beauty, right? And then to use that, and I keep saying empowered, but I see it here in the Sagittarius energy. Like she's a water sign, and that's what she's starting off as, but she's growing into fire sign. Somebody who is the initiator when she's going to start off this life, sort of watching and absorbing so that she can form ideas about stuff. I guess especially about what she sees with women and the way that it's set up. There are two indicators here that she is moving towards that Sag energy, though. This actual Sag in her first house. That means at some point she's going to switch from being somebody who's sort of introverted and pop out with this whole energy. You ain't even know that part of her was there because it only comes out like in foreign lands. And it looks like it's initiated for the first time around the time that she turns 9 or when she heads off to college, 18 and a half, 19. This North Node in the 9th house is the house of Sagittarius. That's another sign that that's what she's moving towards. Having her Jupiter, which is at home in Sagittarius, is another sign. So that's a guru, ma'am. The second house is how you make your money in the future. She's going to make it, and it's not going to be known to her at first because it's a retrograde. There's a delay. And I say there's a delay because the other lifetimes, religious indoctrination or whatever happened with her parents sort of, it took over. She was a whole nun who wouldn't help during the war or do anything outside of what she was told. So in this lifetime, she is going to take her time unfolding and deciding what she wants to believe in based upon what she witnesses out in the world, out in her career, out in college, out in foreign lands, out amongst her friend groups. Everything she started with will be the basis for the container. Note that Saturn in the 3rd house. Everything that she learns or is a lot of energy from the father, which makes sense. If she was a nun, that means all the time she was really like father, father, father. So in this case, any blockages that she has on her mind, her intellect, and what she wants to do as far as that empowered female that I told you she wanted to grow into in this life will be set in place by her dad. This is a karmic thing, and anything with a retrograde is a karmic thing, something that had to be rewritten, something that had to be done. Her transformation, or stepping into her power, comes when she starts going to school. The first time it's going to be ignited is around, could have even been pre-K, but then the next time that it really kicks in is 11. Something about whatever grade she's in at 11. She starts finding her tribe, and her tribe starts to loosen up her mind. Like she'll go from this person who's very quiet, possibly very reserved, daddy's girl. That's all I'm getting from this Capricorn energy. Like some of her values, her morals, all that stuff is based upon that energy. But when she gets around other people and sees the way they live, she's going to decide, hey, maybe I want to try some of that. Maybe I want to shift there. That's important because her Neptune is in the 4th house. She is clearing out anything that is lingering in the contract, in the debt on your side of the family, surprisingly, because I see so much dad stuff going on here. But she is clearing out what karmically happened to many other females on your side of the family. I'm guessing those that were repressed by religion or by their fathers or the rules of the fathers or the rule of the family. She's going to be creating a whole new thing. She's clearing the board. And her family, the one that she creates for herself, is going to be a quirky family of geniuses. If anything, she will feel like the black sheep or the one that's always outside of the box in the family, just because her place is to feel outside of the box, because it's going to force her to stretch to learn stuff that is outside of your traditions. So with her North Node in Cancer coming from Capricorn, she's going to go from all the restrictions, all the restraints, all the setups that y'all already have going on to create her own version of her family that is going to be very different. Uh, it could be friends that are family. It could be like a multi-family house. It's definitely going to be somewhere that is not where she was born. It's going to be at least 2-3 hours away from where she was born. So when you see something at the same degree in a chart, it is running into the same stream. So you have her Saturn, her restriction, her contract at the 20th and the third house. This is a contract for her mind to be built in a certain way, right? This is controlling her sun. These are both Scorpio degrees, by the way. So a lot of her energy is going to come from transformation, but also from the pushback that comes from the vocal woman she is going to be. Not much of a back down when it comes to words. Like her intelligence is going to be like, and she's going to have to fight for that amongst people who want to silence her. But it's what she came to do. So this Chiron right here, her wound is at the 4th degree. The 4th degree is a family degree, her home degree, feeling out of place at home. But she did that so that she would be able to help those other children who feel out of place, those orphans who literally are out of place. The wound that she will have with her will be in feeling like she's always looking for her place until she finds it, which is her own home amongst her own family that she creates for herself. I feel like you needed to know this all in advance, especially around them teen years when you're going to be like, what the hell? She came to be a rebel, baby. She came to be a fire starter. And that 20th degree, that's the Phoenix degree, as far as I'm concerned. That's somebody who rises from the ashes. So she's going to be dealing with that. In some cases, her beauty is going to feel like a burden, and she's not going to want to feel like that in her life. That is another reason why she will be turning up the notches on her power, so to speak. Her Mercury is at the 9th degree. That's the Sagittarius degree. Also, whenever you see Sag in somebody's chart, just know that that means learning from experience. She's going to ask a lot of questions. And every time she asks a question, it's going to radically change the way she thinks. That's what this 3rd degree, which is the Gemini degree, Uranus is. Uranus is a big change. Next to your mind, this is somebody who's always learning, always pushing. But look at that 9th degree also with her angel. Her angel is in Virgo. Her Mercury is in the house of Virgo. This is a person who is developing the mind of a healer, of someone who is going to be of service. That explains why I said that she's just going to do something where she's going to be talking like that reporter that I showed you in the card, somebody who's known for their mind, known for their thoughts. But she'll actually be relaying what she's supposed to be relaying angelically. Like she stands up for the underdog, and she will stand up for the underdog because at some point she is going to feel like she was the underdog. So this whole time I've been talking to you about her landing her way back into a family in a foreign land in some way, shape, or form because of this 19th degree, which rules her 7th house. So she's a wife, even though she's going to give somebody a hard time, it's because she's reserving or preserving herself for a particular person. That 19th degree is the same as her moon. She's going back to the past life relationships that she had before, the family that she had before. Like she'll get back the same husband and the same kids if she decides to have her own kids. I'm feeling like she might be into adopting and stuff. Who knows? Maybe she'll have a mix. It's going to be a very unique blend. So say, for instance, she was supposed to have a kid at 20, right? But her human decided, no, I'm not having a kid at 20, right? Even though she planned it ahead of time. So what's going to happen is stuff is going to rearrange, and one day she's going to end up with a child. Even though it's not one she birthed, that'll be the soul of the child that she was supposed to have, and she'll just be raising it as it came through somebody else because she was no longer prepared to have it at that time. She's getting back what she already had in another life because they are bound. That's what this, I can never say that asteroid at the 24th degree is. That's a Pisces degree, but you have it where she has it next to her moon. She wants that same family that she has a tie with back. Sort of like your son wanted the same wife. He didn't mention that he wanted the same kids though. But this one is like, if I had them, I want them back in some way, shape, or form. Her drive in this life is going to be learning about all the things that are difficult but it's because she wants to help with them. So if you notice her like really into murder mysteries or the first 48, don't shame her, because I believe that's one of the things that makes her feel out of place. You're kind of raising a version of Wednesday Addams. But she needs that. Like, you getting there, guys. She needs to be able to look through these subjects and stuff because it's gonna be her area of expertise one day. Imagine if she really was a reporter, but she would be like a Vice reporter. Do you know what Vice is? Or somebody who's on the soft white underbelly. She'd be doing those hard hitting Chris Hansen type investigations, because that's what she wants to do. She wants to do something that makes an impact, something that she was told she could not do previously, which is to open doors that other people would prefer closed. So imagine that there is a politician who is touching kids or something dirty, right? Everybody else might stay away from that because of their position of power. But as soon as she hears what the situation is and that nobody else will go after the story, she will make it her duty to take that person down. That's the level of determination there is here. Everything she's doing is pulling stuff into a full circle, which is expanding herself in her career. You see this Jupiter, which is your expansion, your growth, your wisdom gained through experience, right? Hers is at the 22nd degree, which rules the 10th house. Her career house, this MC right here, her idea of heaven on earth, right? What she's doing to contribute to the world is also at the 22nd degree. So the more that she learns and the more she stretches herself out there or puts herself out there, the bigger her career is going to expand. The bigger her following. And this is people who appreciate what she does on a day-to-day basis. Like, she came to work. That's what this Mercury and Venus is. Like, she's going to be a hard worker, whatever it is. Whether she is a fitness reporter or a nutrition reporter, and she just gets back to everybody on what she's been doing in her personal life and stuff like that, alongside with her helping the orphan children and stuff. Or if she is an actual reporter or somebody who is in law or in politics or just in one of those positions. I just saw Candace Owens go past me. I don't even know what Candace Owens' job is exactly, but she always has political commentator. That's what my mind said. But that's who she is. She came to be seen. She came to make an impact. She came to talk a lot. But it might be later on in life after she's done observing and making her ideas about what A, B, C, and D is. So my advice for this baby is let her fly. Just follow her and watch the journey. Follow her and hold her hand and let her do what she wants to do, because that's going to be the basis for the energy that she gives to the other females. That's what that moon at the 19th degree is. That's right next to her career house. Her relationship with her mother is the one that frees her, when the relationship with her father was the one that was creating the structure and the thing that is going to be the drive for why she wants to help women be empowered so much and wants children to be empowered so much. Her relationship with you is the blueprint for the relationship she will finally decide to settle down into. Like, you give her the freedom to be herself, and that's something that's going to be important going forward, especially when that's the gift that she wants to give to others. So have a great day, and thank you for your patience.